Good afternoon, Guardians. My name is the Black Link, and today we got the official Bungie Armor Customization Preview for Destiny 2 Shadowkeep. It was a fantastic stream that showed off the ins and outs of the new Armor 2.0 system, in particular, the way stats are going to be changing, the way ornaments are going to be changing, and most importantly, the way mods are going to be changing, mods and perks on the armor that you'll be earning when Shadowkeep comes out. This stream got really in-depth, and if you'd like to see it from start to finish, there's a link to the official stream down in the description box below. It should be archived up on the YouTube channel by the time this video goes up, so you should be able to go and check it out. I would definitely recommend doing so you can get a full picture of everything that's going on, but in this video we're going to be giving you a quick summary of some of the biggest bits of information that came out of this live stream. Let's go ahead and dive on in. Alright, first things first, we got a great look at the new character detail screen. And you're going to notice quite a few changes there. First and foremost, your Sparrow and your Ghost now show up next to your Guardian. It's just a small aesthetic change, but I really like it. Additionally, we've got the return of the D1 stat system, Intellect, Discipline, and Strength. These have been added along the Mobility, Recovery, and Resilience system we currently have inside Destiny 2. But these stats as well are going to be seeing some interesting changes in Shadowkeep. They're going to be on a 0 to 100 point scale. It's going to go in tiers of 10. And you'll build up these tiers via the stats on the armor that you're equipping. And basically, it's going to be exactly like it was back in Destiny 1. The higher the tier you reach, the quicker the recharge rate of your abilities is going to become. At least in terms of Intellect, Discipline, and Strength. When it comes to Resilience, Mobility, and Recovery, the higher the tier you get, the more of each of those stats you get. Which means for Mobility, it's going to increase your movement speed and maximum jump height. Resilience increases the amount of damage you can take before dying. And Recovery increases the speed at which you regain lost health. Now, for the three D1 stats, these are mostly going to be the same as they were in that game as well. The more intellect you have, the faster you get your super back. The more discipline you have, the faster you get your grenades back. And the more strength you have, the faster you get your melees. And all of this and more is displayed right on your character detail screen. Now what's really awesome here is that when it comes to the cooldown ability stats, they actually show you exactly how long your cooldowns are going to be, which is neat and just gives you a little bit of extra information about the builds that you'll be making. Now finally for this first part, it's also worth noting that the Glimmer cap has indeed been increased from 100,000 Glimmer to a max of 250,000 Glimmer. Which is fantastic. It's about time that finally happened. But alright, let's talk about the armor changes themselves. So, once Shadowkeep goes live on October 1st, all legendary armor that drops in the world is going to be the Armor 2.0 system. This includes planetary vendors, meaning all the sources of armor that are currently in the game, including PvP, planetary vendors, raid, all of that kind of stuff, is going to have its armor automatically updated to 2.0 status. Now, this doesn't mean the armor that's already in your inventory is going to get an Armor 2.0 variant right off the bat. Outside of course, the Solstice of Heroes gear. If you get up to the Majestic version of that, you can head right over to the Gunsmith, he'll have a package for you, you'll be able to pick that up on day 1. But basically, all of the other sources of armor in the game are having their sets bumped up to the Armor 2.0 system. So while it won't change what you have in your inventory, we'll say if you have a stockpile of Crucible tokens for Shaxx, you can go spend all of those with him on day 1 of Shadowkeep and you'll get an Armor 2.0 version of the PvP gear. This also applies to exotic armor, which will have the Armor 2.0 system we're going to be covering in just a second, as well as the collections. Things you pull from your collections will similarly be updated to Armor 2.0. Now, let's go ahead and dive on into the meat here. The Armor 2.0 system is fantastic. It's actually really interesting. It's very much akin to the kind of system we have in Call of Duty with like a pick 10 system, where you'll be able to earn and unlock mods either by purchasing them from the Gunsmith or getting them from the Gunsmith packages, at least for normal mods, with enhanced mods dropping from in-game activities like Nightfalls and raids and stuff like that. I think the example the devs use in the livestream itself is Iron Banner is going to be able to drop enhanced mods. But anyways, once you've earned those mods, they are permanent and universal. You can utilize them on any piece of armor that can take that type of mod. Additionally, all sets of armor now have what's called an energy system. This again is kind of like the pick 10 system in Call of Duty. It's basically going to be an upgradable point system that you use to allocate mods to your armor. You're going to have 3 total armor slots on a piece of gear. But this system is going to work very much like the level 1 to 10 masterwork system we have right now. You're going to start with your armor without really any points. You're going to have to upgrade it using a combination of Glimmer, Legendary Shards, and then initially Enhancement Cores. And your job here is basically to max it out. This goes from level 1 to level 10, and each level is going to correspond to the amount of points that you can apply to a mod. The higher your armor's level, the more mods you can apply. And of course, the higher quality mods you can apply to it as well, because different mods are going to cost a different amount of points. One of the examples they use here is great. Basically, they're making a sniper rifle build, so they want to put the perk Enhanced Sniper Rifle Targeting on their armor. Well, that's going to be a mod that costs you 6 energy, so you need to have your armor upgraded to at least level 6 to apply this. And upon doing this, you will have used up 6 of your armor's energy points, leaving you with a total of 4 for other mods. And you can take a look at this other screenshot here to see the price of some of the other mods that are going to be there. That gives you a quick rundown of how this is going to work across the board. And I've got to say, it's fantastic, and it gets even better because some of the other types of mods you get are great. There are, of course, a lot of the fantastic mods we already have in-game, like Sniper Rifle Reserves, Scavenger, perks like that, along with other new perks that increase your intellect, your discipline, and your strength, allowing you to perfectly customize your build to the way you want to play. If you're somebody who likes to go into PvP shotguns blazing, you can stack up Scavenger and Reserve mods, and unflinching aim mods for shotguns, targeting mods for shotguns, so you can make yourself a full shotgun build. If you're someone who loves to use grenades, you can stack up as much discipline and grenade boosting mods as you want. And so long as you've unlocked these mods with the gunsmith and have upgraded your armor to a point where you can actually apply these mods, you can really make whatever kind of build you want. And that, Guardians, is absolutely fantastic. This is exactly what I wanted to see from the Armor 2.0 landscape. And it's going to create some absolutely wild combinations moving forward. You can probably imagine some of the crazy builds you're going to be able to pull off with this. And if you can't, like I said before, I would definitely recommend you watch the entirety of this live stream so you can see all of these mods, all of these abilities, and the different combinations you can come up with. But we're going to talk about a couple of other little things that we got to see here. First things first. Basically, every weapon is now going to have its own specific ammo finder. So that rather than having the specific special ammo finder, heavy ammo finder, primary ammo finder, you're going to be able to specify exactly what type of ammo you want to find. If you're somebody who uses primarily shotguns and hand cannons, you're going to be able to specify shotguns and hand cannons. We actually even got to see exactly how that's going to work in-game as they ran a strike after they finished their bit of dress-up. And when the ammo finder perk is active, it'll show up on your HUD like any other buff, and the ammo packs that drop will have a special aura around them. Additionally, we also got to see how some of the Eververse ornaments are going to work. If you don't remember, basically all of the Eververse armor sets are being kind of clumped together as ornaments when Shadowkeep comes out. So that if you earned any of the Eververse armor sets over the last few years of Destiny 2, you'll have access to all of those as ornaments, universal ornaments, when Shadowkeep comes out. Beyond that, we got a sneak peek at some new materials, including enhancement shards and ascendant shards, both of which are going to be pretty important for upgrading your armor. In particular, ascendant shards were actually an item from Destiny 1, and while everything of course is subject to change at this point, it looks like it's going to be what you need to use for your final couple of upgrades for your armors. Like when you get to around armor level 7 or 8, your requirements go from being Glimmer, Legendary Shards, and Enhancement Cores to upgrade, to Glimmer, Legendary Shards, and like an Ascendant Shard. So hopefully those things aren't as frustrating to gather as Enhancement Cores, although they did make a point to say that there's going to be more sources for these materials when Shadowkeep comes out, so you're not going to have to just hope for the best when you're sharding gear. Additionally, for all of you sweats out there who have a fully masterwork set of super mod equipped armor that you love in PvP right now, no need to worry, that stuff's not being deprecated when Shadowkeep comes out. That kind of gear that you've got in your inventory right now that maybe you like, you don't want to change, you don't want to have to take off, isn't going away. You can still use it moving forward. So if that worry was on your radar, you've got nothing to worry about. And then the last really big thing I kind of wanted to talk about here, Weapons of Light is back for Titan Bubbles. And by back, I mean back to the D1 style, where you can jump into your bubble, get the buff, walk outside of your bubble, and keep that Weapons of Light for a couple of seconds. This is a major change for Bubble, which is a underused super to say the least in Destiny 2, and we were super psyched to see it return. It's about time. Additionally, the Way of the Pathfinder for Night Stalkers, that's bottom tree Night Stalkers, is getting a buff when Shadowkeep comes out. Actually, masterworking your armor finally has a point now, since fully masterworking a bit of gear grants you extra stats, meaning you're going to be able to get your cooldowns even faster when you've masterworked gear. And lastly, the artifact system, which they only spoke about in passing, we'll be learning more about that later, is apparently going to be on a seasonal basis. Basically, you're going to get an artifact each season, you build this thing up, and it supposedly grants you new mods, new perks, new abilities over the course of the season. Some of which, according to Bungie, will feel pretty exotic. And then at the end of the season, you basically turn it in and get a brand new one. Sounds super interesting, cannot wait to learn more about that. But alright Guardians, that's pretty much it for your quick wrap up of the Armor Customization Preview Livestream we got earlier today. Armor 2.0 is looking lit. And I don't know about you guys, but it's exactly what I wanted to see from Bungie moving forward. Just the sheer amount of customization there. Being able to completely fine-tune your build is everything I wanted out of this game. And I can't wait until Shadowkeep comes out and I can get my hands on it. But alright Guardians, that is going to be it for this one. Those are my thoughts. Be sure to leave me yours down in the comment section below. Did you watch the live stream? What do you think of Armor 2.0? Are you psyched for Weapons of Light coming back to its full glory? Be sure to let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like, make sure you subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest stuff we're putting out. But I'm out for now. Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.